Hi, witches. Right, this is something else that I've struggled with personally. Someone messaged me and asked me to cover this, and I do think it's very, very important. This is something that I'm just in the process of coming out of, but I had a few years where I just felt really lonely and I felt very isolated. And the main thing I think people need to ask when they feel like that is this a choice? Are you really lonely, or are you choosing to hibernate and alienate yourself subconsciously, not consciously? But a lot of the time when I felt lonely, I was turning down invitations. I just didn't want to go. I didn't want to talk to anyone really on the phone. And it was very much a me problem that wanted to be lonely almost. And there was big reasons why. The main reasons being, one, I needed to regroup to set boundaries, like healthy boundaries, because I didn't like the way people had been treating me for a very long time, and I very much realised that I did have more control of that than I thought, and that was just even by not being around people that didn't treat me how I liked. And if I was around people that treated me how I didn't like, I kept it short. If they didn't respect my boundaries, and it was as simple as that. A lot of people that I've seen over the years feel lonely, and they are really, really doing it to themselves subconsciously. So just have a look. If you're feeling lonely, have a look. Are people reaching out to you but you can't be bothered to talk to them? That's fine. If once you figured out that you're choosing to be lonely, you need to figure out why. There will always be a reason. Have you got stuff that you need to work through? Is that what you need at the moment? Do you need to be alone to sort of regroup with your emotions and feelings and set your boundaries? Really, really look at if it's a choice. Then also look, a lot of us, well, all of us don't like to be at fault. Are we making an effort? Is it we really not have friends, or are we feeling lonely because we're not making an effort with anyone and expecting them to make an effort with us, and then feeling upset when they're not psychic and don't make an effort? Because if that is the case, then that's easy. And if you're not sure, reach out to a few people. Don't just... I think a lot of people just say, oh, hi, are you busy? They don't say, hi, I'm going through a lot at the minute. When you've got a minute to chat, or when you've got the energy to talk, could really appreciate an ear right now. I think loneliness is definitely a choice. If you have, especially with the internet, I think if you're socially awkward, you have the internet now. And if you're not socially awkward, you can make friends even so much as going to the shop. It's about whether you want to make friends and whether you deem the people around you suitable to be your friend. I really think with loneliness, it's something that you need to sit down and ask yourself some questions, because a lot of things in life, we put ourselves in these situations, and as we're in them for so long, we don't realise that it was actually us that put them here. And that's great. It's fantastic. If we put ourselves here, that's absolutely fantastic, because that means we can take ourselves out of this situation. And if you're lonely because no one wants to be your friend, figure out why. Well, is everyone that you come in contact with an arsehole? Is everyone that you come in contact with wrong? Or are you treating people and rubbing people up the wrong way? Do you need to work on yourself? Do you need to work on... A lot of people that I avoid is because they take and don't give. And that doesn't mean with stuff. That means emotionally. I'm always happy to be an ear for anyone and everyone. And when it's not someone that I'm emotionally connected to, I'm very good at not even taking on people's problems, listening to people's problems, but not taking them on and giving them good advice. When it's friends that I am connected to and I have got a bond with, that can be draining, because I care about these people. So I'm giving them a part of myself because I care about these people. So it's very important that when you have a problem, the same people that are there for you are there for them, because you need that energy exchange. No one gives to receive. Well, most people don't give to receive, but you do need that energy exchange. It's not a bad thing to give to receive in a certain sense, because if you're not getting that exchange of energy, it goes back to the Celestine prophecy again. If you're not getting that exchange of energy, one of you is going to be left feeling like shit all the time, and that's not fair, and that's not what friendships and relationships, positive ones anyway, are about. So this is the question I want you all to sit and ask. Are you lonely? And if the answer is yes, are you choosing to be lonely? And if the answer is yes, why? If the answer is no, why are you lonely then? Do you need to work on yourself in the sense... I like having the answer to be working on yourself, because that gives you control. Now, if you're lonely because you're socially awkward, that's something you need to learn. You need to learn confidence. All of these things, it's not easy. It's not just a click of your fingers and you have it, but it's something that you can actively do to make your life better. And I think that's empowering. I think that's absolutely fantastic. As always, if you have any more questions, maybe about setting up healthy boundaries, how to reach out for friends, about getting the confidence to put yourself out there, because sometimes we put ourselves out there and we hit a brick wall. But if you put yourselves out there 10 times, at least once, you won't hit a brick wall. And who gives a fuck if you hit a brick wall? It really doesn't matter. It just means that wall's not for you. What area is not for you. Let's go another way. So as always, if you have any questions, inbox me. If you have anything to add, please feel free to comment below. Anything that you do to combat loneliness, anything that you figured out in your loneliness. Because again, it goes back to the breakup post even. And that's very key. They are quite linked. I think after a breakup, you usually feel really isolated because you haven't made that much effort with your friends because you've been putting all your energy in the breakup. So unless you have a good support system, you feel really, really lonely. And even if you don't, you can isolate yourself and feel really lonely. So it goes back to the same thing, the conclusion that we come to with the breaking up. What is, sometimes we're in the dark and alone. Just so we can bloom this beautiful flower, and we need to have these moments where we go into ourselves and figure ourselves out. And they're usually, when you look back, they're usually the times that you advance most in life. They're usually the times you evolve mostly, and the times that you really, really become a better person. So don't look at loneliness as a negative thing. It's something that we have control over. There's billions of people in this world. We're very overpopulated. We have even if you live in the middle of nowhere, as long as you have internet access, what you must do if you're listening to this, you have the ability to connect with people. You are not alone. I nearly sang them, but I won't torture you all.